Thank you.
Stood firm on this issue and have continued prosecuting this case. Again, it's a very heavy team that had been sent here by the whole government and KK machinery. I want to thank the petitioners in the name of Jiro and Empa because they are the ones who initiated this. You will recall that from the beginning we started battling this issue as Azimio and UDA. But it is this team that decided to come to court on their own account, and I want to commend them because that's a good thing. To me, it should mark the end of political prostitution. What we have been going through for the last 2 years is just political prostitution. While my colleagues are hesitant to bring politicians into this, if our politicians who were elected by Kenyans remained faithful and had respect for Kenyans, we will not be where we are today. It is possible that we will not have lost the over 60 Gen Zs who were killed last year because of a terrible finance bill. If we had the correct numbers in the correct positions in Parliament, we hold that it is possible that we would have stopped the passing of that finance bill before it became what it eventually did, and we lost Kenyans. Again, there are very many pieces of legislation that have been passed. Those, to me, are also unconstitutional. And Wetangula, of all people, should have known better. And he should not have taken us through this kind of an embarrassment as a country. But the sovereignty of the people, supremacy of our constitution, and wanasiasa wajue. Ukichaguliwa, wewe haujaenda juu ya katiba, na juu ya wale walikuchagua, na juu ya vyama. You continue being faithful and obedient. You must remain within the law and do things as you were elected to do. Maintain the respect of Kenyan voters all the way, in and out of Parliament. I thank you.
That we are in, and Azimio is in, that part of Azimio is now in government. When it comes to reconstituting now the leadership in the House, what does it mean for us?
Well, it's quite untidy. How I wish that those of us in Azimio had the spine to start this tide, would have been able to put the country back on track. But I hope with under the chairmanship of Uhuru, because it's almost like him and I left studying in Azimio, pengine kitu itatokea.
But then again, what is unconstitutional, that has been declared unconstitutional, must be it doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter if it pinches you. So the Azimio people who had MPs who had shifted allegiance should deal with the consequences. Yeah.
There's something else I need to add. I think the official positions of Baba, the leader of ODM and the leader of Azimio party, is that he donated some people to go and work for the executive of Kenya Kwanza. Now, as far he has continued to say that Azimio is part of that ODM, despite government, broad-based government, is still part of Azimio. So we expect Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka is there, Honorable Kioni is there, Wamalwa is there, the Azimio family is intact. But more importantly, I believe it has grown from the number of people who are there, because from Kenya Kwanza, Kenya has shifted from there. And I believe Kenyans are looking to Azimio to ensure that after it has gotten a majority institutionalized in the National Assembly, that we are not going to have this oppressive taxation, and we have a second chance to get rid of this affordable housing and these kind of crazy policies that are there, and to ensure that the national executive can now be checked. Parliamentary capture is a real problem in Kenya. Through this ruling, the issue has been addressed. Now we expect that when Azimio will be running the National Assembly, which is the most powerful organ of Parliament, that now they can ensure there are no more abduction and extrajudicial killings of Kenyans. Because the state, what all that Ruto and his people, Wetangula, his conspirators were doing, was to ensure that you captured Parliament so that they can commit all these atrocities that have been going on in Kenya. This we have a chance to address. Therefore, we expect that Baba, Uhuru, Kioni, and all the other leaders and Honorable Kalonzo are going to ensure now that institutionally they are more powerful, that the crazy manner in which Kenya is being run today stops.
This will actually start the process of actually moving out of that coalition. We've seen Kenya Party start the process of moving out of that particular coalition. So if these other parties decide that the time has lapsed for us to be in a coalition, what then happens?
No. The decision of the court is the question was settled. It was settled on the 9th of August 2022. The people of Kenya decided who is the majority. You know, to move from your party or from your coalition, you actually need to resign. I do not see a single person resigning to do a by-election. More importantly, on that issue is this, that apart from the fact that you are not going to move out, it is an irrelevant issue. Elections, to mean anything, it means we decide everything on the day of the elections. Today, Ruto, I don't think he has more than 1 million of the voters who voted for him who are still with him. But he will remain president because of a decision made on 9th of August. So Azimio, irrespective of all this political prostitution that has been going on, those people, we shall now come after them. In fact, this is not the end of anything. We are now going after them now that IEBC is coming. This is just the beginning of tidying up the situation. Even Wetangula is not off the hook. Wetangula, they have just said he was employed properly, but they have said the speaker cannot be going after Ruto, saying Gachagua must go, and you are in the choir of the president. The ruling of the court simply means the speaker must be chosen to be a member of Kenya Kwanza choir or to be the speaker who defends parliament. So this is just the start. It is not the conclusion of anything. So anybody who thinks that they will continue prostituting with Kenya Kwanza, they are in for a rude shock.
But within 14 days, they are likely to appeal.
Appeal they can appeal. They were there also in the Court of Appeal to try to stop this. I also commend the Court of Appeal, because the Court of Appeal, when these matters went before the Court of Appeal, the Court of Appeal said, no, Kenyans are entitled to have that matter resolved by the High Court in the first instance. All that we are doing is this. The High Court has simply said that we have to run the Republic of Kenya in accordance with the Constitution, and expressly found that Wetangula thought that he could decide by himself that despite what the people of Kenya have decided, I can say who is the majority. The High Court has just said you had no power to do such a thing. I do not see the Court of Appeal saying Wetangula had that power. So I think this is a done deal.
Maybe just to reinforces the Maina Kiai decision also, where the courts decided that the presidential elections are decided at the ballot.
Yes.
That is what was decided as far as the presidential election is concerned. The effect of this judgment is to say that the question of the majority is decided at the ballot. How anybody appealing that would expect to win, I cannot understand. We cannot allow situations where I vote, you vote, he votes, and then somebody else comes and decides this is what you intended. That is the intention of this court. So to answer your question, whether people cross or crisscross, the majority will still remain Azimio as a principle. How they negotiate the political deal is inside there, that's another issue. In any case, they are collaborating. Some of them have been donated. That's another issue.
It's just
but
like it's just in a normal marriage.
Yeah.
You are bound to your spouse, but nothing stops our spouse from being a prostitute after marriage.
There are no defections
Yes.
under our constitution. Once you've been elected on Party X or Coalition X on the 9th of the month of August 2022, all those people who've been playing all the games they've been doing, including the many cases that we have had in Jubilee, they were really showing contempt on the Kenyan voter.
Mr. Kioni,
Yes.
please, I want you to explain a bit about political prostitution, please. I came a bit late.
Political prostitution.
Prostitution,
It is this decision of having very many masters. Yata unajua umaraya ni nini? Sasa kwa siasa umaraya ni hiyo, kuhamahama, kuhamisha kila kitu usiku na mchana. Kwani nini ingine? Na hiyo ndio shida. Even now, even as we are talking about coalition after the messy situation that we are in, you can still see that prostitution, political prostitution, becoming part of our culture in our politics. And it's not a good thing. We need people who have integrity in the way they do things, privately and publicly.
Thank you.